The views, comments, and opinions of the following program do not necessarily reflect those of Morris Media Studios, MorrisMediaLive.com, or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
This is a declaration, proclamation for the nation. We are kings and queens. We are kings and queens. With all the hate we face and dreams we're chasing, no replacing. We need to be free. To adjust our crown. Hey, oh, to adjust our crown. Hey, hey, 'cause they falling on the ground. 'Cause they falling, falling, falling.
Welcome to the Opinion Room. I'm LJ.
And I'm Nicole. Welcome back, guys.
Welcome back. We hope
it's
everybody...
Friday.
Yes.
Ooh.
So funny.
So how was your Christmas? What did you do? What was your Christmas looking like?
You're so fun. Unfortunately, we are missing our co-host, Paige. She
Yes,
is
let's do that
due
first.
to under the weather.
She's
Hey, Paige, we hope you're watching.
not
Love
feeling
you.
well, but we still love you, and we will be holding it down, okay?
We have a drink for you.
You know, I need that. So now that we baptized the show tonight with our little shampipple, how was your Christmas? What was that?
Christmas was fulfilling, resting.
Okay.
All I did was cook.
That's all you did was cook?
Yes, all I did was cook.
Okay, what'd you make?
I made some, let's see. At my friend's house, I made some, little Christmas party. We made gumbo. We had
Okay.
macaroni and cheese,
Mm-hmm.
string beans and potatoes. We had all type of food. But for home, I made a deep fried turkey with some macaroni and cheese and some string beans and potatoes.
Ooh.
Talking about all this food making me hungry again.
Right? You had a good Christmas, LJ. You was mastering all that, Master Chef?
You're so funny.
Excuse me.
And what did you do?
Well, let's see. I went to my son's other grandmother's house. She had a little party. That was very nice. She had some gumbo over there. It tasted really good. That was my first time really getting into some gumbo. I got to get used to some stuff. You know, all I eat is tamales all year. My tamales were fire this year, but I had to get into that. I went to my mom's house. She had a nice pot roast, and that was good. And just open gifts with the fam bam. My son got a lot of stuff, so I felt blessed. It was good. It was good. It went by so fast, though. Oh, my God. Can you believe Tuesday is New Year's?
Wednesday.
Wednesday. Okay, so New Year's Eve is Tuesday.
Yes.
All right, that's why we're all
We're going
decorative
into
in our New
2020,
Year's
y'all.
hats.
2020, we are past
That
another decade.
is a new decade, though. That's what I was just about to say. Can you believe that? We are embarking in a brand new decade. Like, that's epic to me.
We getting up there in age. We're getting up there in age.
Hey, speak for yourself. I ain't getting up there in age. I'm
Living
getting
the best
younger.
life at my age.
That's what I'm talking about. All right, so let's dig into this show. Let's get ready for tonight. So, tonight we have a little disclaimer for you guys, okay? So, the thoughts and views that we're about to go over in no way, shape, or form suggest how you should raise your children. These are merely opinions and suggestions through the eyes view of millennials and how we are raising our children today. So just know these are not suggestions on how to raise your kids. This is just our opinion basis on what's going on with child rearing today for millennials. Okay. So I got a question. You know that it's wintertime, right? I want to know who's watching these kids. Where are these babies while we all getting our coins, chasing the bag? Who's watching y'all kids for the New Year's? Do you know who's watching your nieces and nephews?
Me.
You.
Me.
All right. Nana LJ.
Me.
I wish you was watching my son. I have to send mine to the Boys and Girls Club. And ladies, if you are single parents out there, you don't have anyone to watch your kids, the Boys and Girls Club is a beautiful tool. They have one located in Venice. There is a Challengers Boys and Girls Club. There's a Santa Monica Boys and Girls Club. There's different locations that are convenient probably to you and where you live. So do a little bit of research. There's parks and recreation centers, all type of places that are safe for your children to go during the winter break. So while you're out there, continue to get that bag, continue to make that money as you should. Make sure that your kids are safely cared for and taken care of. And not just with the little cousin or the little homie. Always look out for the best interest of your children. Know who's watching them at all times. Make sure you know the aunt and uncle who's watching them. Make sure you thoroughly know the neighbors who are watching your kids. It's very important now to know who's watching your kids. What is your opinion on that?
Well, you got to know who's watching your kids. Even when people watch... Even back in the day when our parents had, I had my older sister.
Okay.
Who was watching us back? I'm trying to remember. Like, besides
Like,
my sister, like,
I was
who
watching
else?
myself,
I know
TV.
we had a babysitter back in the day.
Okay. Babysitters are good. That's a good tool.
But nowadays, it's hard now to have any old body watching your kids because it's like,
Thank you.
You got to trust these people.
No, seriously. You have to do
People out here is
screenings.
crazy.
There has to be a whole host of things out when you have your kids being cared for. You know,
Yeah,
you
'cause
can't
got
just
these
drop
babysitters
them off.
secretly beating on your kids and getting videotaped doing it. So
Yeah, there's all type of children's centers, all type of different diasporas of places where you drop your kids off. And if there's not a little monitor on them or a video camera that's letting you know what's going on, it's probably some crazy stuff going on out there. So you just have to be careful and safe at all times when you're dropping off your kids, please.
Oh, yes.
Whenever you out there getting that corner of that bag, make sure you know that your kids are safe at all times, all right? Make always clear, sure. Okay, the next thing. I have another question.
Well, this question is more for you.
Okay,
Should
well,
moms pay for child care or should dads pay for child care?
I feel that child care should be
Only
paid
if
by
it comes into co-parenting.
co-parenting. That's what I was going to say. So if dad is not in the picture, I think that he should give a majority of the child care fee. I think if he's not around to be caring for the child, I feel like mom shouldn't be stuck with that bill. Especially being a single parent out here, it's a lot for child care nowadays.
Well, if you're a single parent, obviously that means that the father's not doing anything.
Okay.
Well, there's other resources. Say, shoot, if you struggling paying for child care, people gotta realize you got child support. You got all type of ways that you can get that help when it comes to child care.
Yeah, forced or not forced. I'm just saying, but to come to a compromisation, I feel like it should be, I don't know, maybe 1 week the daddy pays, 1 week the mama pays. Whatever type of compromise you guys come to, make sure that something is being done. Maybe play dates. I don't know. A couple of days out of the month, maybe y'all go to the movies together. You guys have dinner together. Make time for you guys to be around each other. It is a serious epidemic right now where there's only led households.
About play dates. We talked about who's paying for child
That's
care.
what I'm saying. If you can't get him to pay for your child care, have a play date and talk about it. If he's not willing to, have play dates with all these mother head
dates with who?
households. With the father. Invite him over to come play at the house and provide
Y'all
that
gonna
money
put-
for
you
this
gonna-
child
okay,
care.
let me
That's a
get
play
this.
date.
One, the baby daddy ain't paying for child care.
Oh, you coming
And
for
you
the
think
pocket.
you about to set up a play date?
You can't dig
To
in
discuss
nobody's
what?
pocket and force them to do something that the courts can't make them do. If the court can't make them do it, who gonna
Oh,
make
the
them
court
do
can
it?
make you do any and everything. When the government says you gonna pay, you
I'm
gonna
done
pay
with
that
you.
fee.
That's true. You don't want to go to jail for it, so you're gonna pay it.
Let me see. You don't pay child support. What they garnish your checks, take all your taxes. Like, come on, you sit there. I'm sorry, y'all sit there. Y'all make all these kids. Y'all don't take care of them. So
But
obviously,
you can't
if
say
want-
that. There's a lot of parents who take great care of their kids, whether they're in or out of the household.
Yeah, I'm talking.
Sometimes-
That's good for them. But we talking about the ones who aren't taking care of their kids.
which is a big amount. It is a big amount, a percentage of them not. So that's where the play date comes in. The mom and the dad, if they can't get along, let's just say on that aspect, if they're not getting along
then
and they're
y'all
not
shouldn't
seeing
be
eye to
each other.
eye,
Then don't.
and you're asking who's going to pay for childcare, invite him over, make something nice for dinner. That's considered a play date with the daddy.
That is doing
And
entirely too much. First,
you
one thing. Let me tell
kindly
you this.
ask him to pay for this childcare.
Okay, so you want me, after we have discussed who's going to pay for child care, you want me, even if they don't pay for child care, you want me to invite them to my house, cook them some dinner, and discuss a play date?
Well, your play date gonna be in
Well,
public.
first and foremost,
we're gonna
you
have
ain't
y'all
paying
at
for
the
childcare.
McDonald's.
I'm not about
Y'all
to
gonna
cook
meet up
for
in the
no
parking lot
food.
and pick up your payments there. Maybe at the school. Maybe they should just drop off an envelope for your play dates.
No, if you are a single parent and either or is not doing what they're supposed to do, make them. The government makes people. Make them. It takes two to make these kids, so now you have to, it takes two to raise them.
Well, no, okay, let's go into some
But
facts.
ain't no, I'm telling y'all, don't go if your baby daddy, y'all fighting, you don't want to pay for child care. Play dates, that's what you do with other parents and their kids. Making dinner for your baby daddy, discuss who's going to pay for what. Please don't do that. Please
You can't
don't.
tell people what they can. That is a nice
First
suggestion
and
if you're not
foremost,
seeing eye to eye.
y'all don't get along. If you
Yes,
don't get
it's a
along
lot of
with your
parents that
baby
don't get
daddy, what
along.
makes you think if so? Okay, you ask your baby daddy to pay for childcare. Y'all
Mm-hmm.
arguing. Why would you invite this food to your house and make them dinner?
So you could be nice and get that money
That
for
is
that
a benefit.
child care. Look, I'm gonna give you the
So
statistics.
you
Listen to
basically
these facts.
say, hold on. So basically, you saying, I gotta feed the baby daddy just to discuss some child care to do what? Like that? Don't
Get your foot in the door.
That is your baby
I'm
daddy.
trying to
for
get
a
y'all
reason.
foot in the door.
See, the hat popped off because it know I'm right. Man,
And know you mean business, huh? So you gonna meet in a public little spot and you gonna get that money every week, huh?
if
If it was up to you,
if we're not, it depends on the situation. If
okay,
you're not,
I'm with that. Yes, it does. Each
okay, if you're a single
situation
parent, but
is
the father
different.
still does what he needs to do,
Okay.
then yes, it's just that y'all don't get along, but he still takes care of his child. If you're a single parent and your child and you're the father of your child does not do anything at all, you don't need to be making nobody no plate. You take them to court.
Well, you heard it first. If you aren't taking care of your children, you don't deserve a plate. And that's according to LJ. I'm trying to get y'all foot in the door to have a happy, compromised family. Because there are some parents who don't get along. And then there's wonderful parents that are out here who are thriving in two-parent households that are millennials. That are
That's
the
the bomb.
bomb. Exactly. And that's, a unicorn situation. But we want to see more of that, We don't want to see so many where we have to meet up here and meet up at the courthouse, or we have to come to a compromise. We want to see more two-parent households, okay?
Well,
so
that's due to relationships.
listen to these facts, though. Okay, here's some facts. Millennials are the highest percentage of living adults to date. We are the highest percentage, okay? But on top of that, listen to this. Out of us being the highest percentage of adults, and 5.3 million of us are running these households, only 8.6 of those percent heading the household are single mothers. And on top of that, they live in poverty. So that means that 8.6 million women out here are in poverty level households. So we need to have some play dates. Somebody needs to be asking for some money. Something needs to go down. School is expensive.
Well,
Clothes are
conversation.
expensive.
Stop saying play date.
I'm throwing this
'Cause it
at you
ain't no
because
play date.
it's a play. If we can't come to a compromise, I'm going to go to your job. I'm leaving the child here. And this is going to be where you taking care of him then. He getting dropped off here today then.
Well, we ain't going to call it a play date, though. 'Cause your baby daddies might take that to something else. Oh, play date. We'll be playing.
Well, we are coming to you to spread awareness that even though a lot of us millennials are heading these households, we do not have to be in poverty. Two-parent households need to be a norm for us. So please, if you are deciding to have a child with your boo or your bae, or you're deciding to get married, please think about things first. Make sure that you guys have that job. Make sure that you guys have your household in order. Make sure that you guys have a stream of income coming in, because not just paying for rent and food is the goal. Taking care of your kid is the main factor here, okay?
Yeah, but no one is never ready or prepared for a child.
True, but living in poverty and having oodles and noodles like you in college with a kid is not okay either.
That's
though.
all of us. People without kids is living in poverty.
Exactly. We are the highest number. I told you right now. That's
Say it.
sick, ain't it? I'm telling you. I don't even know what to talk about with that. We're going to leave that there. Okay, so what do you allow your children to do as far as rules? Like, do you allow them to go to parties? Do you allow them to go to sleepovers? Like, as a parent, let's just say, wrap your head around being a parent. What would you allow them to do? What are your rules in the household looking like? Are you letting them to go out? Are you letting them go to a sleepover or what? If you are a daddy and you have a little girl who's a preteen and she wants to go to a sleepover, are you allowing her to go? What are your rules in the house?
Dang, that was
We do?
fast.
All right,
Come on,
let's take this
everyone.
call.
Let's take this.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, how are you? Welcome to the Opinion Room. What's your name?
Hi, this is B. How are y'all?
Hi, fine, thank
Hey,
you, B.
How you doing?
Hi, hon. So I was listening to this here situation when it comes to, you were saying if you had a little girl
Mm-hmm.
and a sleepover.
Okay, yes.
Okay, tell me about that again.
Okay, so let's just say you have a little girl. What are your rules in your household? Are you letting her go to a friend's house to a sleepover if she wants to? Like, what are your rules? Are you going to allow her to go out with her friends just for the night? Is that okay for you?
No. It depends on the age limit. Simply because there's too much going on in the world, you have to know these parents and their families. You have to know what their background is. A lot of times there's too much hidden secrets that's going on. And if your child is over there, you don't know what their situation is in their household. Even though I have all boys, I don't even let them go to their people's houses, period. I have to really, really know the parent. And my kids don't go to nobody's house unless they're a teenager, period. When they're adolescents, no, they stay right up under my thumb because I got to know everything. I don't want to have no shoulda, coulda, wouldas, or, if they're too scared to talk to me or tell me if something occurred, I need to know, period.
Amen.
So,
no, I hear that, B. I'm right there with you. And even as a suggestion, if your child is feeling like they're going to be ostracized and the only one left out of the sleepover, you could sleep over there too if their parents are allowed, and I'd be right there next to my child. Me and my child would be on the couch, snugged up together in the Snuggie den. That's the only way, as a suggestion, not just to say parents should never allow their kids. Oh, no, you have to have limitations in your house. Your rules are your rules. So I agree with you on that, B.
I'm going to tell y'all now, we are not going. If I got to sleep at a sleepover, we ain't going.
Nobody going. You're not trying to
I'm not about to sleep at nobody else's house on no couch. I want my own bed.
But I like that you chimed in with that, B. Thank you so much for that. I agree. Yes, it's definitely depending upon their age and who the family is and what. I like that.
Are you a single mother?
Yes, I am.
Oh, I have a question for you. Because we just got done talking about this. Who should pay for child care? Is it the mom or the dad? So since you're a single mother, who pays for your child's
child care?
Child care.
It should be, it should really be both. But if the kid is full on in the mother's home, then that's other opposite parent should pitch in and pay for that child care.
Okay.
It should be no reason why the mother should have to take care of the kids by themselves and pay for child care, getting sleepless nights while the father is out there living his best life. If he can live his best life and he don't have no responsibilities when it comes to those kids, he can pop that child care.
I agree. All right.
So there we go. If the kid is living with you, that's who's paying for child care.
That's who pays for the child care. That goes for single fathers as well, because there's a lot of single fathers out there. So, mama, you out there living your best life every night at the club, that mama needs to pay for that child care.
That part, because you paying for your own freedom. How about that?
I know that's right. Somebody got to pay for them babies to be watched. Well, thank you so much, B. You have another question for her?
No, do you?
Let me see. Do we have anything? Okay, do you have a village? Being a single mom, you know that you have to have a village set up for your kids. Do you see yourself having a village and raising your children?
Now, when it comes to it takes a village to raise a child, in this day and age now, because it's so different from back in the day, there are no villages now. You have so many young women popping out babies, putting them on to their parents or to their grandparents, and then they're not ready to be parents, period, so they want to still party. And it's like it's unfair to those who didn't choose to take on those kids or have those kids to have to raise somebody else's child.
Right. I agree, because mamas are getting tired, grandmamas are getting tired. They're not trying to be raising extra kids. They raise their kids, they're done.
Yeah, everybody trying to live their best life now.
It's time for us to take on the baton.
And at the same time, it is a blessing to have a child, but there's a given. If you're not ready to be a parent, get on some birth control and stop popping out all these kids.
Right.
Don't put your responsibility on the next person, because you have to remember, that baby boomer has already had their kids. They've raised them. They've done what they need to do. So why should they take on your responsibility too? It's a blessing to have a person to help you raise your kids, but don't put the full-on responsibility on them. When it comes to the village, like I said, there's no villages now, because now that millennials are here, they don't know how to be responsible young adults because their parents aren't teaching them.
I agree.
Back in the day, it took 10 parents. You did something wrong, you was getting your butt whooped by everybody on the block. Now, these parents are scared of the kids. These kids is running the world. But it's like you have to step up and put your foot down. Because with my kids, we not having those issues. We not having those situations because you didn't have me, I had you.
I know
There's a
that's
difference.
right. That's good, B.
That's
All right.
that part.
That's how it should go.
You
especially
didn't have me. I
had you. Right.
In
Totally
every
use
way
that.
possible. Okay?
Well, thank
didn't
you so
sit
much
there.
for calling in, girl. That's exactly what we needed to hear. A millennial with their head on straight, who know what they doing with their kids, girl.
Yes. most
Amen.
definitely.
Well, we appreciate you, and best of luck with you and your sons.
Thank you.
All right. Well,
Okay,
you have a
B,
happy
well,
new year, okay?
Yes. Follow
too.
us at the Opinion Room on Instagram and Facebook.
Will do.
All right.
right,
Well, thank you
thank
for calling
you.
in.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. I like what she said, though. How the kids are not raising you, you raising the kids. That's what I meant by
Man, 'cause
what are
these
your
kids
rules
is-
in the house?
These kids is crazy.
It seems like millennials are not setting rules in their house. Trust me, I'm a teacher. I see it. When I have the kid getting picked up by their parent, at the end of the day, it's like, okay, how is my kid? I have a whole list of things, but I'm not going to say. I'm just like, well, you know your child. And they tell you all the time, oh, yeah, I know my kid and I know how it's going, blah, 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 blah. But say something. They don't want to have those conversations. They on their cell phone coming in. They talking as they coming in. It's just, oh, how was my kid? It doesn't take nothing but a second to have a conversation with your kid. And a few times that I do say, okay, little Johnny was scratching. Little Johnny, I have to give you this paper that he bit somebody. Do you think they're talking to their kids? They kid back the next day doing the same thing.
Yeah, because the kids probably at home slapping their mama, biting on them.
Yeah, I've seen some craziness.
Man, these kids are crazy nowadays.
But that's what
Ever
we
since
need.
we took that getting whoopings out of...
Well, I
kids,
can't really
it's
speak
just
on that
bad.
about school, how they're taking a
No, I'm
step
talking
out of the
about
school.
how our parents... Back in the day, we used to get our butts whooped.
Speak on it.
Now, you can't even whoop your kids without... They can call the police and you go to jail.
Yeah.
Like...
In a quick second, that's child
And
abuse.
now everybody see why we have these issues that we have nowadays with these kids being disrespectful. Get that belt. You can even go back in the day. Go grab a switch off that tree. Hey, it
Not only
helped us,
that,
shit.
you know what hurts worse? Take away the gadgets. Take away the cell phone. Take away the iPad. Put it up. Put it in the drawer. That kills the soul. When you see the kids having a cell phone taken away, that's it. Like everything shuts down completely. They want to do whatever you say. Everything shuts down. And that's how it shows how programmed they are, though. Their brains have been taken over by the cell phone and everything like that. Have rules and limits set in your house. Talk to your kids. Make sure that the phones aren't raising your kids and the TVs. I know I was raised by the TV. I'm not going to lie. I had an older parent and she raised me with TV. And now what? This next generation is being raised by iPads and cell phones. It has to be a difference in there somewhere.
Well, because we used to go outside.
That's true.
Nowadays,
We played
it's unsafe to go outside.
until the
But-
lights went off and then your mama down
Heck
the
no.
street.
You
Come inside.
Come in the house and when them street lights come on,
Right.
you better beat your street lights.
But it's a whole new world, though. We can't just even allow our kids to just be outside unattended, though.
That and
It's
plus they don't
different
even like to
stuff
go
out there.
outside.
That's
you tell
true.
them go outside, they go outside for 5 minutes. It's hot. They back on the computer, cell
Complaining,
phones.
huh? Yeah, these kids are different now. But I mean, it's just even suggested play dates with the parents. Like, I want to go back to that. Okay, so you banged on my play date with
Because you said
the
play date
daddy.
with the baby daddy.
The
That ain't
real
no-
definition of play date is with your kids' friends at school. So, play date is when you take your kids and their friends and their parents, and you guys can go to Chuck E. Cheese,
You have an
go
outing.
to Disneyland,
You
you
have
go
an
to an
outing.
outing, and this is a way for you to meet the other child's parents and family.
And gives your child time to hang out with somebody their age, especially
Right.
since you're around.
And while you're watching them, and you feel safe right there in front of the other parents. So that's a play date, you guys. For you baby boomers who don't really know millennials, we have it to where we go out with the other family on bowling trips and camping trips. That way, no one has any suspicions. Everyone is together. So it's called a play date. Okay? So that's set up for new families out here, millennial families. That's another way to get involved in your kid's life. Now, what I want to know is, next question. Do you feel like it's too much to know what's going on in your kid's cell phone and
no.
in their iPads? Like, let's say that you ask for the password.
If
Do you think that's
living
being
under
nosy?
your parents' house, get no privacy. You don't. That's how it was with us.
Really?
If you lived under your parents' house, whenever they knock on your door, want to come in your room, check whatever you do on the computer, that's their right. You have no privacy until you move up out of their house, pay your own bills. Then you can tell your parents you ain't getting my phone. But other than that, I'm checking your phone.
Well, it just depends on what age. I was going to say, you don't want to go in no teenage boys' bedroom, busting in the door
your phone
and see what they doing. You don't know what they doing. He might be in there getting a little, stroking or something. We don't know. At that age, you can't just bust in your kid's door. You have to have some type of, rules. Back to the rules. Rules set, no locked doors, keep it adjourned, however that looks for you. But so you saying that it's no off limits for you. If you bought it, you have access to it.
Yeah, if you living under my roof, until you can take care of yourself and pay your own bills. It's technically my phone. I pay the bill. You just using my phone. So when I come up, you can come in the house one day from school, and if I say, give me your cell phone, and if it don't unlock, we have a problem.
All right, so that's not being nosy. I'm not being nosy. Paranoid or nothing. You think that's fair.
You have to know what your kids are doing these days. Nowadays, you have to know what they're doing.
Okay.
Because you have to have conversations. What if they're doing something that they don't even realize that they shouldn't be doing? You have to explain to them what they're doing and why shouldn't they be doing it. Or explain to them what it is that they're doing.
Right. No, open line of communication, definitely.
You don't get no privacy until you 18. 18 to move about your parents' house. That's when you get privacy. It's true.
No, I feel you. Because this kid's probably setting up situations where they're meeting people at the park. And we don't know if they're just out the house claiming they're going to go meet up with a friend and could be meeting up with a stranger at a park.
Well, then don't let me be your parent. You walk up on my house, I'm walking right behind you in my car. You won't know I'm following you but I sure will be following you.
Well, we going to follow my baby. We going to follow him around then. I got a good one for you there. We going to follow him all through middle school, okay? That's coming up for you then. If you want to jump out on kids, I'm going to go through his cell phone and everything. All right, so that's good.
You got to watch what these kids is doing. You got to watch what they're watching.
Yes, I was going to say that too on YouTube. It's a lot of stuff on there.
Restrictions on what they can do. Because, if you don't put restrictions on the internet, they can look up anything
they type in. Anything they think of, a word that they could have heard on TV, they typing it in. And that's what it is. It's going to pop right up in the search engine.
So, yes, you can ask your kids for their passwords if they want their phone, iPad. Whatever it is, if they're under 18, you have the right to go through it and look through it. That's the safest thing for your kids and yourself.
I like that. That should be a saying now. If you under my household, it's for your best judgment, okay?
Yeah.
I like that.
Even though they might get mad because you're going through their stuff, but you let them know until you pay this bill.
No, that's true. And then respect. Okay, so I have a coworker now. She takes city transportation. She's on the bus. And she told me not too long ago, about a week ago, she was on the bus with some high school girls. And it was some elderly ladies coming onto the bus. The high school girl has her backpack sitting in the seat next to her and has her legs propped up. And the elderly woman is walking past her. And so the lady was like, can I sit down, please? The young girl sits up and was like, no, you can't sit down. My backpack is sitting here. No, I'm not moving my feet. My feet are sitting here.
I can't.
I would have a whole heart attack being on the bus and seeing disrespect like that. Like,
I would be behind bars.
What? Who is that child's parents?
Because I would have snatched that girl by her little ponytail. You better get you out this seat and let this older lady sit down.
But
you
that's
young.
what we're
What you
seeing.
sit down for with your feet on? Like, come on, like you been at work all day.
Right. The respect is all out.
Oh no, these kids nowadays are rude.
Rude as F. I'm telling you.
Ooh, shoot.
They're not helping people across the street like they used to.
I had some run-ins with some of these kids, and best believe I'm not the one. I will snatch you up, but
we can't touch them though.
Don't give a.
You trying to serve
you
time?
Can mysteriously do what you do without nobody seeing.
I'm not coming up to your deposition for you snatching up a child in the streets because they was being disrespectful.
Hey. I'm going to show you what being disrespectful is. Because these kids nowadays, they don't know respect. Even some of these little young teenage boys, they don't know how to respect women.
They don't.
Like, because I'm not even going to say, because even it comes to even older people. One thing is, because I see this a lot. Men are supposed to walk on the left side of a woman.
Yes.
The side of the street. And it's the opposite now. It's like that is so disrespectful.
And why? Because that wasn't passed down to them from the 2-parent household, or the mom didn't have time as a single mom to show that child that, or the dad wasn't around.
But it's like you have to sit down and have that conversation with your kids about how to respect. If you're raising a boy, how to respect women. If you're raising a girl, how to respect men. Because it even comes to where some of these little girls is swinging at dudes, and it's like, and people get mad when the dude hit them back. And it's like, to me, you have to teach your kids respect.
Thank you.
I got taught it my whole entire life, especially I did sports, so all my coach, I can tell you, my coach from high school, every single day, yelled at me.
I remember that.
Respect women.
Respect
every
the
day.
women.
Every time he see me, that's the only thing that came out of his mouth. To this day, I still remember it. I respect my women.
And you see, that's sunk in your head, though. You see how that stayed with you your whole life? How something so small could just stick with you the rest of your life, to respect women.
Well, you're in high school
That's what
for
we
4
need.
years. When you hear it for 4 years straight, it better stick in your head.
But pass the knowledge down. Millennials, we're not passing knowledge down to our kids. What are those sayings that our parents used to tell us? Even me as a young girl, all I heard in my head was...
Because people still having kids too young.
Yeah, we are.
They don't know. Like, I understand having kids in your 20s, to me, which is still kind of early. Because you trying to figure out your
best life. Yeah. I had my son at 23, and that
you got
was
kids
young
raising
to me.
kids.
Yeah, that's true. But just because you're a kid raising kids doesn't mean that you have to stop. That's what our message today is, everybody. It doesn't have to stop there. This is a chance to have, interventions, conversations, talk to your kids. Don't just let the cell phone and the iPads and the TVs raise them.
Yes.
Like I was going to say.
If you don't have that conversation with your kids, y'all got to remember.
The world is going to raise your kids.
Not even that. If you don't have that conversation with your kids, our parents had it with us. We're raising our parents and grandparents now. So if we're not teaching these kids now what our grandparents and parents taught us, y'all have to remember, in a few little decades, we're going to be in our 60s, 70s. If they don't respect these older people now, what y'all think? Who going to take care of us?
Right.
Because let me be on somebody bus and young, I'm going to snatch you up. I'm just going to yank you out the seat.
You going to be fighting in your old age? You going to hit somebody with your cane?
Because I'm not with
that. Let you sit down.
I got bad knees and hurt ankles at that age. You going to let me sit down.
Oh my gosh. Well, the respect goes a long ways. Okay. That's what I was saying. Some of the sayings that were passed along from grandparents and mothers should be passed along to the kids today. Like, why buy the cow when you can get the milk for what? For free. So you can't just be out here gallivanting and thinking it's okay. And then you think someone's going to buy the cow. No, they don't want it because they didn't see everything on IG. They didn't see all the assy, all the chi-chis, all the everything, You could have a little taste, playfulness. But everything all out there, it's like, who's going to buy it? Because the milk is already what? Subscribed for free. So it's different things like that we need to pass down to our kids. That is so important. Please, whatever you remember in your head that your parent or your grandparent told you, pass it on to your little brother, to their friends. Pass it on to your cousin. Pass it on to whoever is younger in the house so that the next generation has an example to take on.
Yeah, you
Please.
Just let them know. Like you let these kids know when you see a handicapped person, an older person, and you're sitting down, give up your seat. Even if it comes to a pregnant lady, a woman, period. If you're a guy and you're sitting down, you see this woman standing on a crowded bus, please offer up your seat.
Right.
It's the respectful thing to do.
Thank you.
And these parents tell your kids that. It don't hurt to let them know. If you on the bus and you sitting down, you see an older woman, an older man standing who is way older than you, get up and just offer your seat. We did it.
Right.
So why can't these kids now do it?
It's a level of respect that goes a long way. Holding the door open for young ladies. I see a lot of men now. I'm going into grocery stores. It's a dude just slam the door in my face like, well, damn. Okay. Thank you, sir. No one is taking that time out just to help others anymore.
Yeah, and then even when parents see their kids not even holding it, they ignore it.
They let it go.
Back in the day, we used to get pinched.
I got popped upside my head. Right.
No, I got pinched.
So the rules are different. We aren't setting rules and limitations in the house. That's what I'm saying.
Because I feel like people are trying, they're taking it away. Because now they say if you hit your kids, it's what is it?
Child abuse.
Yeah.
Yeah, on different levels because of how, the extremes have gone. And there are different laws and rules for that. I get it because things do go haywire for some children, unfortunately. But I feel like just having a regular conversation and rules set in your house will be fine for anybody. If you are a new parent and you want to know how to parent, just try your best to go for what you've been brought up with. If you haven't been brought up in a household with your mom and dad, maybe just mom and the TV raised you, I don't know, get a parent book. Go ahead and look up some big brother, big sister programs. Find other ways to help you if you need help in parenting, please. Because we are raising another generation of disrespectful kids out here who are in the markets, not having patience, throwing your stuff in bags, shoving them at you. It's ridiculous. Where does the cycle stop? It doesn't stop.
I don't know where you be. People shoving bags. Mm-mm.
I've been to Ralph's where I've had some kids shoving my groceries in, not even putting the eggs in the bread separately, but shoving my eggs in my bread, smashing them, putting everything, okay, paper or plastic, man, boom. Who raised you? I know you seen your mom and grandma at the market.
You ain't saying nothing. That probably happened to me once.
No, I've said something.
And I don't care.
Things.
I will hold up a line.
But
I
it's
will
common
unpack
sense.
every grocery you packed up to pack it the right way.
So you making them work double at the cashier's
No,
there?
I'm going to pack it myself. I don't want to go home with smashed bread, broken eggs. Mm-mm.
But you have to understand that came from a household where maybe they didn't get taught what to do, basically. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
or didn't pay attention. So that's all we're saying, guys. Take time out to work with your children. Please. It will help and go a long way.
And even if you see a kid being disrespectful, say something. Yes. Let them know that it's not okay. Even though some parents feel some type of way when you saying stuff to their kids.
I was going to say that too.
If you ain't going to tell them, somebody else is going to tell them, because then that should wake you up like, dang, if somebody else seeing something wrong with it and you don't, then that's a problem.
Exactly. And it's going to be probably even more dangerous later on. Let's say that our kids, being our skin color, African American, are being held up by the police. Now, that's a whole nother situation within itself. If no one properly taught them anything at home and they're not being taught to just, 1 and 2, just stay there. Sir, do you want me to get my license and registration? Because there's all different types of ways you have to handle the police now. If you weren't properly taught just basic etiquette, just anything that looks like that, I don't know, it could be terrifying. You have to just know how to relax and calm your mind down and just do whatever the police officer tells you. If it's a situation where that kid doesn't know anything and they don't even have the second or have the chance that a police might give them because they weren't taught properly and just, okay, here, whatever. Ignorance is what I call it, ignorance.
Well,
that wasn't taught
to
them.
These parents.
It could be fatal, and it can go back to the parenting.
It's all up to these parents.
So even if you're a single mom, if you're a grandma raising these kids, an auntie, or uncle raising these kids, properly help them to learn how to act accordingly wherever they go. It could be a life or death situation for them that they can't get back. So please take your time to teach them what you were taught. You have anything else to add to that?
Oh, no, just teach them.
Like, who raised you? Because you are a very well put together man, I will say. Being your best friend, who were your parents in the household with you? Like, what was that look like?
From 8 all the way until still now. I was raised by my grandparents.
Okay. And what values did they instill in you?
Being a baby till 8, my dad did a very excellent job.
So you were raised by your father. See, that's very rare for men nowadays. That's why you have respect in you. That's very good. And your grandparents, what were some of the things that they taught you that you still hold dear today?
I got my butt whooped. The heck, it wasn't no, I got whooped. You did something wrong, whooping.
So you know how to act accordingly.
Not to do that again. So,
right.
Okay, I got a whooping. I don't want to do that again.
Right.
Nowadays, like, let me talk to you. Okay, I can understand they want to talk to these kids nowadays, but talk. It goes in and out. They not listening to a word you saying. They just looking at you like your lips just moving. In their mind, all you saying is blah, 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 blah. And that's all they hear in their mind is blah, blah, blah. But the minute you raise that hand or that belt, I bet you now they're going to be listening. Y'all talking about
loud
talk to your kids. Talk to some kids. I ain't talking to nobody kids. I'm going to pop you.
That's not always the answer, though. That's what we're saying.
You see,
that is not always the answer.
They took out whoopings and look
kids.
at the issues we have now. We got all these kids with mental issues, being bullies, kids
That's true.
committing suicide. Like,
that's true.
it's because of kids being bullies. Like, If you're being a bully, I don't know. It's just, I'm not with, I understand you want to talk to your kids. Sometimes talking don't work. It don't. It depends on the situation. If it's bad, I'm going to pop you. If it's in the middle, maybe I'll talk to you. Okay. But we need to bring back whoopings.
So what do you think that a parent should do if their kid is a bully? Like, what do you think should be a stipulation on a parent?
Well, some kids are bullies because it all depends on what goes on at home.
Okay.
Like, if their parents is bullying them, then that's where they learning from.
I like that.
But with these, when people, you got bullies at school, I feel like now these schools, because you know, so many kids getting bullied, and then now these kids are actually taking their own lives. So it makes me think like, okay, well, we know there's a problem at home or a problem somewhere within that bully's life, but it's like, where, if you're getting bullied at school, what are these schools doing? Me, I feel like these schools should start, you know, we get tickets for not going to school.
Right.
So why not get a ticket for being a bully? You get 2 tickets, a $25 ticket your parents got to pay. That would kind of get your parents to wake up like, oh, no, I got to pay this ticket. You know, we don't like paying tickets.
I like
when you
that,
get
though.
pulled over, we don't like paying tickets. Because it's like you get 2 tickets for, you caught bullying a child at school, you get a ticket.
Okay.
Oh, we have another call.
Okay.
Calls is coming in today. Hold on, we get back to that bullying situation in a minute.
No, that was a good topic. I like that.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, who do we have today?
Hi, this is Nikita.
Hi, Nikita. Welcome to the Opinion Room.
Thank you. You guys are doing an awesome job.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nikita. How can we help you?
I'm just wanted to call in and chime in on what you guys are talking about tonight.
Okay, please do. Please do. What do you have as an opinion for us tonight?
I think one of the main things that we're dealing with right now, for me as a mother, is bullying. That is major right now in a lot of schools. And I have a 9-year-old in elementary, and I could not believe the level of bullying that's going on in elementary school.
Oh, my gosh.
And so I'm the type of parent that goes in and calls parents.
I like that.
I sit down. Yeah, I was like, I don't want to talk to the kid. I want the mother.
See,
that sounds like you.
No.
You coming for the child, too.
The child. I'm going after the child and the parent.
You going to...
You messing with my child.
No, I like that.
That's a problem.
No, I like that, Makita, because you have to take the problem head on. Like, okay, the kid probably doesn't even know what they're doing or why they're doing it, but the mama obviously has some type of issue going on, or the daddy does, and that's what we need to check, huh?
Yes, exactly. I mean, I've had to go on sister girl mode. Trust me. I had to go from, okay, mother, you know, I really need you to check your son because he's pushing my daughter. He pulled her hair. He broke her glasses. So we got a major problem, right?
Oh,
and
no.
she was like, well, you know, that's my baby, blah, blah, blah. I said, well, I tell you what, either you going to whoop his behind, and I did not say behind, darling. Either you going to whoop his behind, or I'm going to whoop his behind, because this is a village, so the village will intervene. I'm an elder, so I will intervene on him if you don't. And then we got some change because she realized that I was serious.
I know that's right. See? And LJ, my counterpart, was talking about giving out tickets to parents who have bullies, like a $25 fine if your child is being a bully that the school should issue.
Like this school should issue.
What do you feel about that?
Tickets.
I think that's excellent. I think that's excellent because that's going to force the hand of the parents. Yeah, that's going to force the hand of the parents to be more responsible in what they say and what they do when it comes down to handling this type of behavior from their child.
Yeah, because especially if you have to pay, if you're a parent, you have to go pay a fine. If I'm struggling with money already, I don't want to have to go pay you because you bullying somebody at school. So
right.
we're going
to end up bullying
we got to find a way to punish, like not punish the parents, but wake them up. So I feel like a ticket will work. We get tickets for jaywalking. Why not get a ticket for bullying?
Right.
We get tickets for your child not showing up to school.
Truancy, yes, you sure do.
And that ticket ends up like $500.
That's $500.
That part.
That's a lot of money.
Yes,
Oh my God.
it
So
really is.
besides calling the parents, what else has the school done for you for the bullying? Like, have they reached out in any other ways to help your daughter?
Honestly, believe it or not, it really started a whole parent-teacher type of forum where we started having meetings.
Okay.
And talking to the children, like really, what is your problem? You have to get to the root of things. You know what I mean? So it's like, what is your problem? Why do you feel as though you need to make somebody else feel small in order for you to feel big?
I like that. That's very
And
good,
so
a
when you
parent
talk-
forum.
When you talk to children on that level, you know, you will start seeing change because there's a reason behind every action. Sometimes a child just didn't eat and they're angry. They're hungry, you know?
No, there's always a trigger. You never know. Exactly.
Exactly.
No,
And
you're
that's
right,
why we
Makita.
need
I have a
more.
10-year-old, and he encountered a bully not too long ago. My sister came up to his school and surprised him with some McDonald's. And another little boy, like you said, was hungry that day and came and knocked the box of McDonald's out of his hand. All because my son didn't want to share his fries. And my son was like, well, I didn't want to share my fries, Mom. I shouldn't have to just give over my lunch. So this boy came and knocked it all out of my hand.
Ooh-wee.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
yeah.
I was immediately upset. You know, I went to the principal, handled everything. You know, the little boy was reprimanded. But it's just, we have to have those conversations with our kids. Like at home, we have to instill that confidence in them. We have to have these talks with them to let them know, okay, you might be faced with an individual who is having a bad day and they don't know why. But you have to act accordingly when you come across those people. Even us, it's people who pull our chain and test us in public. And we have to think twice before hitting them or going to jail or something, or, you know, catch our religion and our spirit real quick.
Yes. Sometimes I try to count to 10, but sometimes it doesn't work. I might get to 2 or 3 and then I lose it. It all depends on the level of the dynamic. So I understand
At
how
least you get to
even
2
a
to 3.
child can lose it. You know what I mean? I understand how even a child can lose it.
Yes.
And it all depends on what type of day that child or that woman or man has had. And if somebody just come and they test you or push what I call your do the fool button, it's a problem. You know what I mean? You can go all the way left.
Right. No, it can, definitely. And that's all we're trying to promote here is keeping our kids safe, keeping them in a safe environment. How is your kid safe even while you're at work and you're out there making your money?
Because I even suggested these schools, even though I suggested the ticket thing, even if you get 2 tickets, I say the third strike, I said the school should start making the parents come and sit in detention and have a meeting for a whole hour about their kids.
Take a parent class. Make them take a mandatory parenting class or course for that hour.
Yes, because I feel like to get to these bullies, you have to get to the parents because it starts with home.
Starts at home.
It really does, but it's like what I caught you guys discussing a little bit earlier when you were saying how it's usually a one-parent home, and the dynamic now is there's way more single mothers than there are, you know, with the fathers, and God bless the men that learn how to be a single father and handle it on their own. But the problem is sometimes mama is working so much, she's missing a lot.
Yes.
She don't even get, you know, a lot of times the children aren't even communicating because they see mom's tired, she's working, then she comes home, then she cooks. So a lot of times children will harbor what they've endured or what they're going through.
That's very true.
So
i.e. producing the bullying.
Yep.
Yes.
This is why we need to start forums for our youth. And, you know, parent-teacher conferences was major when I was a kid. And that those things, because it gave the parents and the teachers, because back then the mothers could say, no, you're tripping, you should be teaching. If there's a problem, you come talk to me, blah, blah, blah. We don't have that anymore.
We sure don't.
You know, when I was a kid, the teacher was knocking on the door. And they were like, you know what, Keita was acting up in class today, and I need to know why, because this is not her normal behavior. So we need to figure out what's going on. You see what I mean?
And that's a real, to me, in my opinion, that's a real teacher.
Yes. Yeah, and this is why I pray we really start waking up the teachers and the even the parents again to where we really go back to the fact that it does take a village to raise a child.
Yes, it does.
That's so important. It's so important. We really believed in that. As a child, when I was at my friend's house and we were playing, if we broke something, their mom could spank all of our butts and then send me home to my mother, and I got it again.
I know that's
Oh,
right.
that's what I tell
See?
people nowadays. I don't watch kids. If I'm not allowed to spank your kids, I'm not babysitting. If you break something in my house, I'm going to have to break your butt. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to.
I heard that.
That's why I tell when people ask me to babysit, can you babysit? Am I allowed to whoop? That's all I need to know. Am I allowed to whoop? If you say yes, I watch your kids.
Yeah. I always say, if you bring your kid to my house, your child is mine while they're with me.
I know that's right.
I'm going to start using that.
And that's
Your child is
for
my
real.
child when they are with
That's
me.
it. That's it. If you leave them in my care, they're mine. So that means my rules, how I raise my own, this is how we gonna fall. If you can't rock with that, it's okay. I ain't mad at you, but I can't keep your child.
That's the perfect disclaimer for anybody. I like that. I know that's right. I'm going to take notes on that, too. Well, thank you so much,
You are
Makita, for chiming
so
in.
welcome.
You even gave us some ideas that we're going to take back to our friends, because we have a lot of friends who are raising kids right now, and it's not easy. That's why we're out here trying to spread that awareness. Just, you are not alone. It's so many ways to change things.
Yeah.
And this is the opportunity, and the time is now.
Well,
So thank you so
keep
much.
up the great work. We really appreciate what you're doing because our community needs you. Keep going.
Okay,
Thank you so much, Makita. Thank you for calling in.
Thank
You have a blessed weekend, okay?
You too, dear. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Thank you.
See, I heard that.
Right? Whooping them kids if you drop them off.
Oh yeah, if you looking for a babysitter, if you don't want me to spank your kids for doing something, don't ask
They're not
me.
coming to your house,
No,
for nothing.
I can't. That's why I'm no one's teacher. Because if I was a teacher, yo kid,
It's a lot of patience.
Yes,
it takes a
but-
lot to be a teacher. It does. But
It's
imagine
true,
the
you
bully
gotta-
pushing her daughter around.
Oh, I know bullies.
So she had to
I
join a form, though?
trust and believe I know bullies. I was bullied quite some years in middle school. I wish I bully now. But,
That's really different. This world now is just so hard. That's what I'm saying. Parents, get together. Have a single mom's forum. Have a single dad's forum. Get together and help.
You know, we have older people hating on us. These kids got kids hating on them. But like I tell everybody, if ain't nobody hating on you, you ain't doing something right.
So what you mean, like ageism between the generations? You think like
'cause
the
look
baby
where we go.
boomers don't respect us so much, or what? Another call, okay?
Oh, y'all coming in today. Y'all everybody talking
love-
about kids.
I love. Hello, who do we have here? Welcome to the opinion room.
Hello, this is Katura. How are you guys doing?
Hi, Katura. How are you?
I'm doing great. I had to jump on this conversation about bullying.
Yes, we welcome all of it. Please chime in, please.
So as you guys know, I'm a preschool teacher, and I do see this a lot lately.
Okay.
Even in my own classroom, and I feel like sometimes it starts with us as adults having a conversation with our children, and I do take that time to have a conversation with the children
with
about
your students.
with the students
See?
about bullying. Like I would even have like a whole session where we're talking to these children about how to problem solve within each other, and things like that. So things like this, I just think like a conversation needs to be had, and having those like open and honest conversations.
I like that.
Yes.
That's very good.
Yes.
That will work definitely. How are
Yes.
your parents? Are they receptive to the conversations that you have with the kids? Like, are they open-minded to that? They've been receiving you?
Yes, they're definitely. Well, you do have some who are not quite open-minded or whatnot, but most of them usually have an open mind and are like, you know what, I really do want to problem solve
That's somebody who
ways
loves their
find
kid.
solutions.
I love that.
I feel like that's the key.
Oh, yes, it is. Thank you so much for being such a wonderful preschool teacher, Katura. It's so
Yes.
nice to meet you. Like, wow, look at that. She's taking time to talk to her students about bullying. And that's a crucial age, that 2 to 5.
Yes.
If you don't reach them between that time, it's not a wrap, but it's harder to instill that into your kids. It's really important to catch them that young.
Yes.
So,
yes. No, I catch them.
big ups to you for that, girl.
Yeah,
that is
thank
so
you for
beautiful.
doing that.
Oh my gosh. Please continue.
Yes.
Yes,
I pray other
absolutely,
teachers like you do it.
Right.
We need teachers out here. If they see it, talk to the kids. Let them know what they're doing is wrong.
Correct the behavior.
No, I definitely do. I definitely catch them, and we have that conversation. They might throw a tantrum, but hey, you know what? At the end of the day, I look at it as I'm saving somebody's life right now.
Right.
Oh yes, you are.
Right. Well, we thank you so much. You have stopped a cycle of bullying going on in the preschool. You are making a big difference. Thank you so much, Couture.
You guys are so welcome, and you guys are doing a great job. I just want to say you guys are doing a great job, and thank you for having these open and honest conversations. And you guys have a wonderful and happy New Year.
You as well. Thank you. And continue to be an amazing teacher, please. We need another generation of teachers like you, please.
Even if you see teachers, I'm sorry, this is my opinion. If you see teachers ain't doing what you're doing, let that teacher know. Because you a real one. Let them know I'm a real teacher. Just what we going to do to help these kids.
Right.
I love it.
Thank you.
Well, you take care, Couture. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. All right. You guys have a good
evening.
Happy New Year.
You too.
Thank you. Happy New Year.
All right.
Oh, today is amazing. We got an amazing teacher.
We talking about Bebe's kids, y'all. We talking about Bebe's kids.
The little babies cutting up, huh? Oh my gosh! So even the little ones is cutting up at preschool.
Bullying comes from it triggers a lot. It comes from maybe these kids have a lot of these kids got self-hatred nowadays. A lot of them. I don't want to be tall. I'm too dark. I'm too light. Like, dang. They a lot of kids. Just let people treat you to be.
Another that no thing that our grandparents still did not. Other you treat and those in the schools, it'll a lot of ways.
Most likely are part two. That is kid make over when we
say I don't see cross time me have to school
time she knew something back in the day, so it's like having work on up and I was
more fun with the
cats. Not about they
so question that you can go
to me you fight happy holidays every safe we will thank me as every good new friend.